Hello, everyone. I'm Dylan Pescatore, and I'm here with David Deal. David, thank you for doing this interview with us.
Oh, my pleasure, Dylan.
First question here, David, is how much do you think an O-line really affects an offensive success as a whole?
I think it means everything. I mean, when you're talking about an offense, the biggest thing that you want to do is not become one-dimensional, because it doesn't matter whether you have an all-pro quarterback or if you have a rookie quarterback. That's something that a defense can feed on. They're going to put an eighth man in the box. They're going to be able to stop your entire game plan and force you like you're almost in quicksand. So I think an offensive line is crucial for anybody, whether at the toppest level or they just got to the NFL.
Definitely. And the offensive line, they get criticized if they make a bad play, but they don't really get appreciated enough. But we saw that appreciation this year with Quentin Nelson on the Colts. Can you really dig deep into his game? I know you're a broadcaster. Can you just tell us what he did well?
Absolutely. When you're an offensive lineman, we always say overworked and underappreciated. That's part of being an offensive lineman, because the only time you get your number called out usually is when something bad happens. I've actually known Quentin Nelson since he was 17. He grew up right here in Red Bank in New Jersey, so he's a local guy. And he actually played at Notre Dame for my old offensive line coach that I had in college. He's tough, physical, plays with technique, and he plays the way that you want to play as an offensive lineman, through the whistle, through four quarters.
Great. I just wanted to dig into, the Steelers' offensive line. They're always praised, which is actually rare in this league. But James Conner had a great year last year with that line without Le'Veon Bell, and now Bell comes over to the Jets. Can the Jets' offensive line recreate what the Steelers did?
I think so, and I think that's part of the reason why they brought in Joe Douglas as the GM and the general manager, because of the success that they've done with it in Baltimore, Philadelphia, by upgrading the offensive line. I mean, right now, if you look at the way that they built it in Philadelphia, 7 of the guys on the offensive line room are starters someplace that you only can start 5. So I think that's something that he brings, is that once you start doing that and you have the pieces around a Sam Darnold, the Le'Veon Bell, and the players on the outside, it all comes to the continuity of the offensive line and having that for a sustained period of time, and that's something that they're building.
All right, last question here. I just want to dig. I know you were with Eli the entire career, not the most mobile quarterback. Maybe you heard from a few teammates on other teams. How is it different as an offensive lineman from a mobile quarterback standpoint to one who stays in the pocket?
I think that's a misconception, because if you look at the success that we had, it was based on running play action off of running the football with bootlegs and naked. So even though you're not running zone reads with Eli Manning, which he's not going to do, it doesn't mean that he can't be used on the move. And that's one of the things that you have to take into account as well. Is, it's great to have a mobile quarterback, but 2 of the guys that were sacked most in front of Eli Manning last year were Russell Wilson and Dak Prescott. I'd say those guys are pretty mobile. Definitely. So it comes down to protection and making sure that you have an offensive game plan and philosophy surrounded by the players that you have on the field that really make up for that.
Definitely. Thank you for the insight, David. This is the end of our interview. David, thank you so much for joining us.
My pleasure. Thank you.
Back to you guys in the studio. I'm Dylan Pescatore here at Metlife Stadium.